3. All right, and we're recording. Hey, Richard, so this is our last call for our 3 months worth of work, right?
Yeah, last call, yeah.
Okay, so we're recording this, and you're happy that we're recording this so that we can share it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I can tell everybody
with other people.
The good, the good things that you do.
All right, so tell me, where are you located? So if everyone hasn't picked it.
So I'm in a small seaside town in the north of England called Lytham St Anne's, which is about an hour from Manchester. Originally from Manchester, but that's where I'm based at the moment. Work in the northwest, work in Liverpool, which is about an hour from here. So that's where I am, and I've been able to stretch across 10,000 miles to use Andre's help and advice to help me.
Great, and you got that funny accent, mate.
Yeah, that's right. There's been a few confusing things I've said where I've sat and I've ate.
Sat
so that's
and
a little bit.
In fact, one of the
when Andre tries to do the northern accent, he sounds really Scottish. Don't you, Andre?
Yeah, when you sat and ate, mate. In fact, that's one of the funniest things I've really enjoyed about our catch-ups in the last 12 weeks is we always have a really good laugh and take the piss a bit, don't we?
Yeah, been trying to teach you northern sayings. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's start. So when we started 12 or so weeks ago, what about you go through, what you were struggling with, where you were at, what you set your goals were, and then where you've gotten to now, and then we'll go through maybe any struggles you had, challenges you had, and then what's worked really well and how you're feeling and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. So my family, my mother, my late father, my sister, all type 2 diabetes. Yeah. I was getting up there on the scale. That wasn't the main reason for doing this. It was more to do with getting myself back on track because my weight's always been up and down, up and down. And I'd read about Andre through LinkedIn, through a friend in Australia, and the things that Andre had been his own story. When we got together back in March, I was actually in Perth at the time, visiting family and friends, and I was 104 kilos, just under 104 kilos. So Andre said to me, I got in touch with Andre. Andre said to me, we're going to drop you 15 kilos in 12 weeks. And I couldn't believe, I didn't want to believe it. I mean, obviously I wanted to believe it, but I thought that's not going to happen. My lifestyle, I'm really busy. I've been a business improvement consultant for the last 10 years. At the moment, I'm the head of operations for a company called Bid Food, which you guys in Australia all know. I think it's the largest food service company in Australia as well as the UK. So at the moment, we're doing a startup in Liverpool, which is really busy, long hours, anything from 12 to 15 hours as we get this depot open, 90 to 100 people to be trained, so much activity, so much happening. So for me to take on this challenge in the last 3 months, most people would say, don't even attempt it. How are you going to be able to give it the dedication that's needed? But through initial conversation and consultation with Andre, through weekly conference calls across the world, 10,000, well, more than 10,000 miles. I think it's more like 13,000 miles away. I've been able to follow Andre's advice, which has always been good advice, not autocratic in what he says. Very, what do you want to do? What do you want to improve? Always pushing the question on what your behaviors are like, what your habits are like, because it's those little subtle changes in habits that can help things. So here I am 12 weeks later, and I'm happy to say that I'm 86 kilos. So 17 and a bit kilos lost, which is incredible. Feel great. I've also got myself a bio strap to monitor my sleep, which has been a challenge. I'm someone with a lot of energy, so sleeping's always been a bit of a problem for me. But at least I've found things out about myself that I didn't know about my resting heart rate and my HRV and so on and so forth, make myself more aware. But the key change for me.
So the first goal was, to lose at least 15 kilos in 12 weeks. And what you're saying is we've lost 17. That's the first thing.
Yeah, nearly 18. Yeah.
And you didn't think you would. And if I can ask you about that, how hard has that been to do? And then we'll talk about the sleep and other stuff.
Been incredibly easy. The biggest thing I'd have to say is that I don't pick food. Snacking such a huge thing in the world these days. I don't snack. I eat twice a day. So I'll eat around about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'll eat. The concept of breakfast is gone. Doesn't exist anymore. I'll just eat low carb, high protein, meat, fish, chicken, vegetables. Obviously, animal fats in there. No trans fats. Nothing like that. So I've reduced carbs dramatically out of my diet. The biggest thing for me is that food is my only vice. I don't drink or anything like that. So, and I love my food. So every time I eat now, I feel full. I don't pick. I'll eat twice a day, 11 o'clock, maybe about 6 o'clock. This morning, not yet eaten yet, so we'll be eating after this.
You haven't ate? What time is it there?
No, I'm not. The time here is 10 past 11 in the morning.
And you sat and you haven't ate.
I'm sat and I haven't ate.
Right. So what you're saying is, I think when we started, you were always you couldn't get by the day without breakfast, lunch, dinner, and you were eating in between. You were
I was terrible. Yeah,
you were up and down.
That was it. Yeah, right? That was the worst thing. Mm-hmm.
And now, within a couple of weeks, you made the switch of going to 3 meals a day without snacking, and then now you've gone to 2 meals a day, and you're not hungry. And
it's been incredibly. It's been so easy for me. It's been so easy for me just to see the kind of food I'm eating. It's all healthy: vegetables, mushrooms, steak, chicken, fish.
Yeah.
It's so all natural. No processed food at all, and it just fills me up, and I feel content. Okay. And it's been really, really easy. Been the surprising thing, and I've lost all that weight, and I've not done any exercise.
Right, yeah, good.
Apart from walking.
So you've done no exercise apart from walking, right? Who would have known?
Just walking.
Hey?
No, I know.
So,
and I used to smash it at the gym a couple of years ago. My weight would go up and down, pumping myself full of carbs in the gym, bang, 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 bang. Nearly having a heart attack 3 times a week. But now I've just, I'll go for a walk on the beach because I live by the coast. It's been great.
So 17 kilos in 12 weeks, essentially about 12 to 13 weeks. So that's more than a kilo a week. You went up and down. You never went AWOL. You never went off plan really at all.
Nope.
Good discipline. And we'd meet every Sunday night because that worked for you like this over video, just like this. Sometimes we'd use Messenger. Sometimes we skipped a call because you were really busy, but we still communicated in between. And you use the Real Meal Tracker to track meals for a while, log your weight, but you've got the food nailed now, right? So that's a great accomplishment.
And I have to say, the Real Meal Tracker, I'm with someone like myself with lots of energy, lots of stuff going on. Sometimes the worst part about myself is being organised in the sense of doing those standard things every day. But by concentrating on the Real Meal Tracker and putting in what I was eating, just by weighing, the biggest thing for me was just having a little kitchen scale. Bang, put it on the scale, write it down. Bang, put it on the scale, write it down. And then just take 5 minutes to put it on the computer. By doing that process, it would focus you on what you were eating and also the volume. Because if you remember at first, I would probably be eating too much protein. Thinking, I can eat anything. And then just by maybe instead of eating 125 grams of chicken, I'd probably eat 200. Things like that. So by monitoring what I was eating, that really helped. So it's just been a walk in the park, to be honest with you.
Good, excellent. Literally. I mean, that's fantastic. You've done all the hard work. So you fixed the food. You've lost a heap of weight. You're going to have to buy some new clothes or throw some.
Two lots of clothes I've been through.
Good. Now you had another goal about trying to improve your sleep a bit, correct? So do you want to tell me what you've changed there and how that's worked for you?
So that out of everything, that's been the toughest, because I think the kind of person I am, with my energy levels being quite high in the job that I do, constantly on the go. But the little things that I've done to help myself is track my sleep, which has helped. The other thing is not go on computers or anything blue screen or phones or anything at least an hour before bed.
Yeah.
That has helped. And also, the more walking I would do, the more energy I would dispel that way. I would sleep better. But I've also seen the other side of it, by sometimes getting overly complacent on the journey, working too hard, doing too long hours. You think I'd be tired, I go to sleep, my sleep would be worse. So by reducing the amount I worked, and by being sensible in the output that I was doing at work, and pushing onto others instead of getting involved in every single thing, that has also helped me a little bit as well. But the key one has been the not having blue screen before bed, reducing the amount of coffee I'm drinking, which now I'll have one coffee in the morning, and not eating before bed, at least 3 or 4 hours before I go to bed. So if I'd eat about 7, by about 10 o'clock, you know what I mean, I certainly wouldn't eat half an hour or an hour before bed.
Yeah.
So those are the little things, and it does make a difference to your day with the sleep. I noticed that when I would, on the journey, when I wouldn't have great sleep, I wouldn't lose as much weight, which was really surprising. And this is finding out things from yourself about how, well, your body will store, in a nutshell, I'm not a scientist, but store your sugar up for your energy levels. So if you don't sleep, your body tends to hold on to it and keeps your sugar in your system.
Right.
And also drinking plenty of water.
Mm-hmm.
That's been tough, but I'll drink between 2 and 3 liters a day.
Yeah, great.
Which has been a massive help.
Fantastic. So what would be, if I can ask you, so we don't go too long, is what's the probably 2 most important things you've learned through this process that you think are the 2 most important things that you'll take through forever? I think 2 things that maybe, if I said to you at the start of our program, you know, these are the 2 things that you might have been like, what the hell? Like, are you on drugs or something? Like, what are the 2 things you've learnt the most that have made a profound impact, do you think?
For me, the 2 things are food and exercise. Very simply. Now, I've been through diets before, and I know this. I'm a seasoned dieter, and this time I don't crave food. I don't crave food at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all. I don't. I get hungry and then I eat. Simple as that. I enjoy what I eat. I enjoy cooking. So that's made it easy. But so just food, and the type of food I'm eating now was a huge educational thing. You know, being okay to eat animal fats. That doesn't affect your you know, your heart and stuff like that. And then the other thing is exercise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being drummed into me over years that I need to exercise, move more and eat less. I'm actually eating more and moving less.
And you've lost 17 kilos.
And I've lost 17 kilos.
Yeah.
But obviously the movement, there is a place for exercise, but it's the right kind of exercise where you're not smashing your heart every day.
Appropriate exercise, yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting out of that is the 2 things were that how you were eating, which I call conventional stupidity, you've realised that that's total BS. So changing the way you're eating, that eating good fats, moderate protein and low carb is actually helped you and it's made it work for you, which is totally opposite to what we've been told for years. And the second thing is that you've learnt that it's not about calories in, calories out and about killing yourself. It's more about each individual has a level of carbs they can tolerate, and you don't have to exercise to lose weight if you've got your food right.
Yeah, and also from a medical point of view, before I started the process with the job that I do, is they do a full health check on me. 3 months later, or 3 months into it, I did my local doctors did a health check. My all my blood sugar is down completely, so type 2 diabetes is completely reversible. I mean, I was borderline, so I'm down to about 4.2.
Yeah, which is
I think
fantastic.
it was. And then my cholesterol, which I learned there's 3 types: your HDL, LDL, and triglyceride. All come down into the right areas, or all at the right areas, better than they were 3 months ago.
Fantastic.
So and on top of that, my energy levels, my energy levels are there. I normally, you think about your energy levels changing with your diet, but I feel great.
Yeah, and that's because you're burning fat.
I'm only halfway through the process as well.
Yeah, right. So
the next level for me is to take it to the next step, and to see what I can, now that I've lost my weight and I'm in control of my diet. I need to then get more into the specific things inside me, the specific measurements inside me, with different blood sugar levels, or whatever you call it. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not a scientist, but then take it to the next level where I can get myself to my peak. It's fitness.
Yeah.
So I've done that with exercise, with food and diet, and now for me, it's to challenge you, Andre, on Ironman.
Yeah, so that's great. So what we're doing for the people that watch this is, Richard's got a really busy time at work for the next 6 weeks or so. So we're going to take a break from formal coaching, and then in September sometime, we've already sort of agreed a date when we have our first next meeting. We're going to come back together, and what we're going to do is we're going to get a whole range of blood tests done that look at vitamin D, B12.
That's it, yeah.
All of this stuff to look at these markers to make sure that Richard's getting the right supplementation if he's low in some of these things, because he's from England, because he's sat and ate, he'll be down in vitamin D because there's no sun in England. So
there is no sun there.
Most people are deficient vitamin D. So I'm sure we'll look at all of those things, put together a supplementation program. But then, as Richard says, he wants to start moving towards doing, running, triathlon, blah, 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 Ironman, half Ironman, whatever, in the long term. So we're going to be working together for a long time. And the main thing is he's nailed the food. He's learnt those lessons. And I've really enjoyed working with you, Richard. It's just been phenomenal. And I appreciate that you've been so positive about it. You're the perfect guy, perfect type of client to work with. We have fun. There's no BS. We can take the piss out of each other. And you do what, you take it on board to ask yourself the questions instead of wanting to be spoon-fed everything, which is just terrific.
Yeah, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror and be brave enough to say, that's what's not good about what I do. Otherwise, there's been, for the people listening, there's been lots of occasions over the last 12 weeks where Andre said to me, well, you're doing that, you should be doing this, and think about what you're doing there, think about what you're doing there. Little sort of things like lying in bed at night before you go to sleep, looking at your phone, little things like that make a difference. And also you've got to want to do it. If you've got that desire inside you to want to change, or if you're unhappy, then just take that first initial step, and then you'll realize that the hard part's done, because you want to do it. You've made the step, you've made contact with Andre, and then the rest, just let it flow, because it's not difficult. It's not difficult if you want to do it.
And I remember one chat we had, and then we'll finish off, is I asked you if the investment you made was worth it. And I wish we were recording. It was so funny. You were talking about £3 a day on a coffee or McDonald's or something. And
that's it.
Do you remember
Absolutely,
that?
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah. That's what you got to do. You got to break it down. If you think about what for anyone listening to this, what would you pay a day to be able to lose the weight, to get fit, to get healthy, to get in control of your life, what would you pay a day? How much time would you give a day? And how much money would you give a day to do that? And if you break down the cost of the 12-week coaching, you're looking at pounds a day, or English pounds a day, or a couple of dollars a day. It's nothing. I mean, my sister spends £90, $180 a month at the gym, and she smashes herself to pieces. And I just think, what a waste of money and time. Where when I think the money that I've spent to do this, and then you break it down, and if I was giving that each day, I'll give you an example. Like Andre said, I'll be traveling to work, not particularly organized, going to the coffee shop, local Starbucks, £4.50, $9, $9 for a coffee. Not going to do me any good, but $9 a day. It's costing me less than that. I don't have the coffee a day, don't spend that. And I've just used that, swapped it.
Yeah.
So
that was the old
that's
you.
what you got to do.
That was the old you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Certainly won't spend $9 a day on coffee.
No. And you've lost 17 kilos, but you got to save the money to buy new clothes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll end off now. Richard, is there anything else you want to say before we stop the recording?
No, just if you've got any old clothes in your wardrobe that you used to wear when you were a teenager, get them out. Okay. They will come back in fashion. So you might be lucky. So some of mine are. My flares, I've had to throw my flares away. But some of them, this T-shirt I've had for about 15 years.
You could be like Gary.
I can finally get in it.
You could be like Gary Glitter, mate. Go and kick some heads, mate. Now give us a nice English thing. Say something with your funny accent.
Oh, an English thing. So a lot of people, I'll give you an example. I was at work the other day and people were saying, I can't believe how much weight you've lost. There's some people I've not seen for a few months. And I told them what I was doing and I'll eat twice a day and saying this. And this guy from the north, he said, oh, I can't be mithered with that. So there's a northern saying.
What is it?
I can't be mithered. 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 I can't be mithered.
What's that
So
mean?
he can't be mithered. He means he can't be bothered.
Oh.
So I said, you can't be bothered to help yourself. Think about it. I said every day. So think about the things that you do that take up your time and just replace them. So there's a northern saying. I can't be bothered to do that.
Can't be bothered. All right.
Yeah. He'd rather go to McDonald's.
Yeah, and have a burger. But that's what all the advertising tells us is good for us. All right, mate. Thank you. I look forward to talking to you in September when we kick off to start your progress to be an Ironman. Yeah, that's right. So this time next year, maybe I'll come and do one of your runs in Melbourne. That's one of the aims. Beautiful. All right. Take care, mate. Yeah. All right. Take care. Bye. See you later. Bye.